Hello everybody, welcome to PBM's Video Entertainment, and welcome back to another collection video. So as you can tell by our two heroes, we are going to be doing a Sonic the Hedgehog collection. And I am very excited to show y'all what I've got in my Sonic the Hedgehog collection so far. Now, if I'll be honest with y'all, I don't do a lot of Sonic the Hedgehog videos, but I will tell you I am a huge Sonic the Hedgehog fan, and Sonic has been my favorite video game franchise since I was like either 8.5 or maybe I was like 9 when I started like watching Sonic videos and playing Sonic games and stuff like that. But yeah, like I said, I don't do like a lot of Sonic videos because, well, mainly Sonic's a video game franchise, and on my channel I mainly review home media products and stuff. But in this video, I'm going to show off every single Sonic product that I own so far in my Sonic the Hedgehog collection. I won't be including any app games, and no Smash Bros, no LEGO Dimensions, none of that, and no Wreck-It Ralph 1 or 2. Anyways, without further ado, we will now plunge into my Sonic the Hedgehog collection. So let's begin. Ah yeah, this is happening! Alright, so first off, we're going to start with the Sega Genesis era, or some of you may call it the Mega Drive era. So, first off, here we have Sonic the Hedgehog, the first game. So, Sonic the Hedgehog was originally released back in June of 1991 over in the United States and Europe, and then it finally came to Japan a month later. And the version I have is the Japanese Sega Mega Drive copy, and I just have the cartridge only. I do not have the actual case for this one. Next, here we have Sonic the Hedgehog 2, everybody's favorite. So, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was originally released back in November of 1992 in Japan, the United States, and in Europe. And then it came to Australia a month later, and the version I have is the United States copy. Yep, with the case, and of course, here we have the cartridge. This is the not for resale copy. Next, here we have Sonic Spinball. So, Sonic Spinball was originally released back in November of 1993 over in the United States and Europe, and then it finally came to Japan a month later. Now, unfortunately, I don't have like all of the Sega Genesis games physically. Maybe I will get them all someday, but who knows. Anyways, next up, here we have the last game from the Genesis era, but the beginning of the Saturn era. So I have Sonic 3D Blast, and the version I have is the Sega Saturn copy. So the Sega Saturn copy of Sonic 3D Blast was originally released in the United States back in November of 1986, and then it came to Europe on February 1997, and then the game finally was released in Japan in October of 1999 for some weird reason. And like I said, I have the United States copy on the Saturn. Next, continuing the Saturn era, here we have Sonic R. So Sonic R was originally released back in November of 1997 over in the United States and Europe, and then it finally came to Japan a month later. And so, as for the Sonic R copy, I forgot to mention that this is the Japanese copy. Anyways, moving on to the Sonic game compilations featuring Sonic games from the Genesis era. So first off, here we have Sonic Jam. So Sonic Jam was originally released on the Saturn back in June of 1997 over in Japan, and then it came to North America and Europe 2 months later. And the version I have of Sonic Jam is the Japanese copy. And like I said, this is only exclusive for the Sega Saturn. And what's great about this game is that you can explore the Sonic world, and you can explore like museums, watch mini movies, and look at the Hall of Fame, and more. So yeah, I definitely recommend this one. Pretty good game. Next, here we have Sonic Mega Collection. So, Sonic Mega Collection was originally released in North America back in November of 2002. Then it came to Japan a month later, and then it came to Europe and Australia back in March of 2003. And the version I have is the Japanese copy. and it did not come with a slip case or anything. It just comes with, of course, the game and the booklet. Next, here we have the update version of Sonic Mega Collection called Sonic Mega Collection Plus. And the version I have is the PS2 Greatest Hits Edition. So for Sonic Mega Collection Plus, it was originally released in the United States back in November of 2004. Then it came to Japan a month later. And then it came to Europe on February of 2005. Now for Australia, this is going to sound interesting, but over in Australia, they got the Xbox copy back in February of 2005. And then they got the PS2 copy a month later. And I also forgot to mention that this right here is the United States copy, but I'm pretty sure all of you already knew that. Anyways, next here we have Sega Genesis Collection, released on PS2 and PSP, but we're going to talk about the release dates for the PS2. So the PS2 copy of Sega Genesis Collection was originally released back in November of 2006 in the United States. Then it came to Europe and Australia on February of 2007. There is no Japanese copy for this one, unfortunately. Next, here we have the update version of Sega Genesis Collection. This one is called Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection. I really like the front poster art, and I love this promo shot of Sonic, because this reminds me of like the Sonic, those like 90s Sonic cartoons that I used to watch. Anyways, so Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection was released on PS3 and Xbox 360, and the version I have is the Xbox 360 copy from the United States. And also this copy right here, the Sega Genesis Collection, yeah, this one was also released in the US. Anyways, jumping back to Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection. So, it was released in North America, Europe, and Australia back in February of 2009. No Japanese copy whatsoever, but just to let you know, the PS3 copy of Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection is region-free. Alright, next we're going to jump into the Ryan Drummond era, starting off with the one and only Sonic Adventure. So Sonic Adventure was originally released for the Dreamcast back in December of 1998 over in Japan. Then it came to North America on September 1999. Then it came to Europe a month later. And then it came to Australia another month later. And the version I have is, well, of course, the Japanese copy, but this one is the 1999 updated version. So if you're looking to get Sonic Adventure for Japanese Dreamcast, go for Sonic Adventure International, not the original copy, because the original copy has like bugs and a few, maybe like a glitch or two. But yeah, overall, go for this one. Next, here we have this Nintendo GameCube preview disc, which this basically has like 5 playable demos. One of them happens to be Sonic Adventure DX. So yeah, this was released on May 30th, 2003. And then a month later, June of 2003, the game was finally released on GameCube. And the version I have is the Japanese copy. And yeah, there's no booklet, no slipcase, so yeah, just the game disc itself. And yeah, so like I said, this was released back in June of 2003 over in the United States, Europe, and Japan. And like I said, I have the Japanese copy. Next, here we have Sonic Shuffle, exclusively on the Sega Dreamcast. So Sonic Shuffle was originally released in North America back in November of 2000. Then it came to Japan a month later. And then it came to Europe on March of 2001. And the version I have is the Japanese copy. Next, here we have Sonic Adventure 2. And yep, this is the Dreamcast copy, but this is the 10th anniversary birthday pack. And this one comes with, a CD soundtrack, a gold collector's coin, and a little booklet talking about Sonic's history from 1991 through 2001. Yep. So anyways, Sonic Adventure 2 was originally released back in June of 2001 internationally, like over in North America, Europe, Japan, you name it. Anyways, and like I said, I have the Japanese copy, but this is the 10th anniversary edition. Next, here we have Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, which is basically the GameCube version of Sonic Adventure 2. So, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle was originally released over in Japan back in December of 2001. Then it came to North America a month later, or no, 2 months later, I'm sorry. Then it came to Europe back in May of 2002. And the version I have is the Japanese copy, and this time we get a slipcase, as well as, of course, with the booklet, and here we have the game right there. Pretty cool. Next, we're going to talk about my second favorite modern Sonic game, and that happens to be Sonic Heroes. So, Sonic Heroes was originally released for the GameCube, PS2, and the OG Xbox. So, Sonic Heroes was originally released back in December of 2003 over in Japan. Then it came to the United States a month later, and then it came to Europe another month later. So I have two different copies of Sonic Heroes, both on GameCube. I have the Japanese copy, and I have the European copy. And this one right here is actually an import from France. And so out of these two, which one do y'all like better? Do y'all like the Japanese artwork or the European artwork? Or do y'all actually like the US artwork best? Let me know down in the comments below. Next, we're going to jump into the Jason Griffith era, starting off with my favorite Sonic game of all time. And I'm not being sarcastic whatsoever, I absolutely love this game with all of my heart. And I'm of course talking about Shadow the Hedgehog. Yep, I absolutely love this game. And of course, Shadow the Hedgehog, he is my favorite character along with Amy Rose. Anyways, I have two different copies of Shadow the Hedgehog, which I'll show you that in a moment. So, Shadow the Hedgehog was originally released over in North America, Europe, and Australia back in November of 2005. Then it came to Japan and South Korea a month later. So, this copy I have in my hands is the United States PS2 Greatest Hits Edition. This one I got signed by Jason Griffith. Yeah, I got him to sign that when I went to Sonic Expo. And he voiced Sonic, Shadow, and Jet. Then, the other Shadow the Hedgehog copy I got is the South Korean copy, or the Korean copy of Shadow the Hedgehog. And this is NTSC-J, just like with the Japanese PS2 games. So the Korean games will work on Japanese PS2 consoles. Next, we're going to jump into Sonic Riders. And, oh, I forgot to mention, Shadow the Hedgehog was also released on GameCube and Xbox. Anyways, now we'll jump to Sonic Riders. So, Sonic Riders was also released onto PS2, GameCube, and Xbox. And this game was originally released back in February of 2006 over in Japan and in the United States as well. Then it came to Europe, Australia, and South Korea a month later. So yeah, and the version I have is the United States PS2 copy. Next, here we have Sonic 06, and I got this signed by both Jason Griffith and Pete Capella over at WeebCon. And at WeebCon, I got Jason Griffith to do a short video, which you can check that out on my YouTube channel. Anyways, the version I have is the Xbox 360 Platinum Family Hits Edition. So, yeah, Sonic 06 was originally released for the Xbox 360 back in November of 2006 over in North America, Europe, South Korea, and Australia. Then, this game came to Japan a month later on both Xbox 360 and the PS3. Now, as for the PS3 copy, it wasn't released in the United States until a month later, back in January of 2007. Then it came to Europe and Australia on March of 2007. Then it came to South Korea a few months later or a couple months later on September of 2007, which that is really, really interesting, I gotta say. Next, here we have Sonic and the Secret Rings. So Sonic and the Secret Rings was exclusively released on the Nintendo Wii, and it was originally released back in February of 2007 in the United States, and then it came to Japan, Europe, and Australia a month later, and the version I have is the United States copy. Next, here we have Sonic Riders Zero Gravity, aka Sonic Riders Shooting Star Story, but regardless, it's basically Sonic Riders 2. Anyway, so the second Sonic Riders game was originally released back in January of 2008 over in the United States and Japan. Then it came to Europe a month later, and then it came to Australia another month later. Now, for Japan, for the Japanese copy of Sonic Riders 2, it was only released for the Wii. Like, Japan did not get a PS2 copy, unfortunately. But here in the United States and over in Europe and Australia, they received a PS2 copy as well as a Wii copy. Next, here we have two different copies of Sonic Unleashed, or two different versions of Sonic Unleashed, which I'll show you that in a moment. So first, here we have the standard edition, or the standard quality version of Sonic Unleashed, released for Wii and PS2. So the standard version of Sonic Unleashed was originally released back in November of 2008 over in North America, Europe, and Australia, and then it came to Japan a month later. And over in Japan, it's called Sonic World Adventure, and then over in North America and Europe and Australia, it's called Sonic Unleashed. And of course, the version I have of this game is the United States copy. And now let's talk about the HD version of Sonic Unleashed. So the HD version of this game was originally released on Xbox 360 back in November of 2008 over in North America, Europe, and Australia. Then the PS3 copy was released a month later. Now, as for Japan, they didn't receive the HD copy of this game until February of 2009. And last, but for sure not least, here we have Sonic and the Black Knight, exclusively released for the Nintendo Wii. So this game was released back in March of 2009, worldwide, pretty much. And the version I have is the United States copy. Alright, next we're going to jump into the Roger Craig Smith era, starting off with Sonic Free Riders, the third game from the Sonic Riders trilogy. So, Sonic Free Riders is a Xbox 360 exclusive game, and this game was originally released back in November of 2010. And the reason why this is exclusive because this game it only lets you play with the Xbox 360 Connect, which I know that the Xbox Connect is, well, not the best, but I mean, I've played through this game and I think this game's alright, you know. I mean, pretty much a workout, if you ask me. And for some reason, I kind of wish this was released on the Wii. I mean, if this was released on the Wii, maybe they would have you do Wii motion controls or something like that. I don't know, that'd be kind of cool, and would probably kind of control better than the Xbox 360 version. Anyways, the version I have is the one from the United States. Next, here we have Sonic Colors, and so yeah, back in November of 2010, it was exclusive for both the Wii and the DS. So this game used to be a Nintendo exclusive game. Anyways, so the original version of Sonic Colors was originally released also in November of 2010. And yep, the version I have is the one from the United States. So yep, I gotta say, I love the front poster art. It's kind of shiny. And then back in September of 2021, we got Sonic Colors Ultimate, and the version I have is the 30th Anniversary Edition on the PS4. I did an unboxing of this, and this special edition right here, this one's an import from Japan, but have no worries. The PS4 copy and the Switch copy is region free. So for the Sonic Colors Ultimate 30th Anniversary Edition, you can either get the PS4 edition or the Nintendo Switch version. There is no Xbox One copy. I mean, well, there is an Xbox One copy of Sonic Colors Ultimate. There's just no such thing as a Sonic Colors Ultimate 30th Anniversary Edition Xbox One version. Next, we've got one of my favorite Sonic games in my top 5 of my favorite modern Sonic games of all time, and that happens to be Sonic Generations. So, Sonic Generations was originally released on the Xbox 360 and PS3, and it was released to celebrate Sonic's 20th anniversary. Yeah, sorry, I had to look at the back for a moment. But yeah. So this game was originally released back in November of 2011 over North America, Europe, and Australia. Then it came to Japan a month later. Next, we've got Sonic Lost World, exclusively released on the Nintendo Wii, and of course on 3DS. But anyways, Sonic Lost World was originally released back in October of 2013. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a physical copy of Sonic Mania or Sonic Forces, but that's okay. Maybe someday I'll get physical copies of both of them. Who knows? Anyways, next we're going to jump into Team Sonic Racing, originally released for PS4, Nintendo Switch, and the Xbox One. And this game was originally released back in May of 2019. And the version I have, this one's an import from Japan. Pretty cool. Next, here we have Sonic Frontiers, originally released back in November of 2012. It was released on PS4, PS5, Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X. And then here we have, jumping back to classic Sonic, here we have Sonic Superstars, released on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X, and Nintendo Switch. So yeah, this game was originally released back in October of 2023. So this was released basically almost a year ago, pretty much. Alright, so that about covers my Sonic console games. So next we're going to jump into the Sonic handheld games, starting off with the Game Boy Advance. And we're going to start off with, obviously, Sonic Advance. So pretty much for all of the Sonic Game Boy Advance games, I have them all with just cartridges. I don't have like their boxes or anything. So Sonic Advance was originally released back in December of 2001 over in Japan. Then it came to North America on February 2002. And then it came to Europe a month later. Next, here we have Sonic Advance 2. And yeah, the cartridge, yeah, it has seen better days. So Sonic Advance 2 was originally released over in Japan back in December of 2002. Then it came to North America and Europe on March of 2003. Next, here we have Sonic Battle. And this game was originally released over in Japan back in December of 2003. Then it came to North America a month later. And then it came to Europe another month later. Next, here we have Sonic Advance 3, originally released back in June of 2004 worldwide. And then next, here we have Sonic Genesis, originally released back in November of 2006 to celebrate Sonic's 15th anniversary. And yeah, I gotta say, my youngest brother, he hated this game, and of course I hated it too. And by the way, yeah, this was only released in the United States, so over in Europe, they did not receive this game, neither did Japan. But don't worry, the Game Boy Advance is region-free. But yeah, I do not recommend this game, because yeah, it's so cringy. Like, believe me, yeah, it's absolute cringe. And then last but not least, here we have the Sega Smash Pack, originally released in the United States back in September of 2002. Then it came to Europe in July of 2003. And this game has Sonic Spinball. Now, unfortunately, Japan did not receive this game, but like I said, the Game Boy Advance is region-free. So if you're from Japan and if you want to get this game, have no worries. This is region-free, so this will work on all the Game Boy Advance handhelds. Next, we're going to jump into the Sonic DS games. So all of the Sonic DS games, well, all of them have their cases, and all of them are going to be from the United States. So first off, here we have the first game from the Sonic DS collection. Here we have Sonic Rush, originally released back in November of 2005 worldwide. Next, here we have the sequel to Sonic Rush, and that happens to be Sonic Rush Adventure, originally released back in September of 2007 in North America, Europe, and Australia. Then it came to Japan a month later. And then South Korea didn't receive this game until September of 2009. Next, here we have Sonic Chronicles: The Dark Brotherhood, originally released in North America, Europe, and Australia back in September of 2008. Then it came to Japan on August of 2009. Next, here we have Sonic Classic Collection, featuring 4 games all in one cartridge. Comes with Sonic 1, 2, 3, and Sonic & Knuckles. And this game was originally released back in March of 2010 in North America, Europe, and Australia. Now, unfortunately, this game was never released in Japan, but don't worry, the Nintendo DS is region-free, just like with the Game Boy Advance. So if you happen to be from Japan, and if you want to get this game, have no worries. The game is region-free. Last but not least, here we have Sonic Colors on DS. So this was released on the same date as the Wii copy, which happens to be November of 2010, released in North America, Japan, Europe, and Australia. Now we're going to jump into Sonic on 3DS. So we're going to start off with Sonic Generations. So the 3DS copy of Sonic Generations was originally released on the same date as the console versions. So yeah, just like with the console version. So yeah, this game was released in North America, Europe, and Australia in November of 2011. Then it came to Japan a month later. And then we have Sonic Lost World on 3DS. So yeah, just like with the Wii U copy, this was also released on October of 2013. And then last but not least, here we have Sega 3D Classics Collection, originally released in Japan back in December of 2015. Then it came to North America on April 2016. And then it came to Europe on November of 2016. Alright, so now we're going to jump into the Sega crossover games, starting off with Sonic Pinball Party. So, Sonic Pinball Party was originally released back in May of 2003 in the United States. Then it came to Japan 2 months later. Then it came to Europe in October of 2003. Next, here we have Sega Superstars, and this game is exclusively released on the PlayStation 2. And just a reminder, all of the Sega crossover games I'm going to show you, all of them are going to be from the United States. So, anyways, back to Sega Superstars. So, like I said, this is exclusively released on the PS2, and this game was originally released in Europe and Australia back in October of 2004. Then it came to Japan and North America a month later. Next, here we have Sega Superstars Tennis. I have the DS copy and the Xbox 360 copy. And this game is also released on Nintendo Wii, PS2, and also PS3. So, Sega Superstars Tennis was originally released back in March of 2008 in North America, Europe, and Australia. Now, unfortunately, Japan did not receive this game, but it's a good thing that the DS and the PS3 is region-free. So, if you happen to be from Japan, and if you want to get Sega Superstars Tennis, and if you have a Nintendo DS or a PS3, have no worries. Both the DS and PS3 are region-free. Alright, next we're going to jump into my favorite Sega crossover game of all time. And I'm of course talking about Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing. Yep. So, just like with Sega Superstars Tennis, I have this game on both the Nintendo DS and on the Xbox 360. Now, for the Xbox 360, it's called Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing with Banjo-Kazooie, because, well, you can only play Banjo-Kazooie on the Xbox 360 copy. While the other versions, such as, like, PS3, Wii, and DS, you cannot do that. But anyways, so Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing was originally released back in February of 2010 in North America and Europe. Then it came to Australia a month later. Now, just like with Sega Superstars Tennis, this game was not released in Japan, unfortunately, but, like I said, the Nintendo DS and the PS3 are region-free, and if you happen to be from Japan, and if you want to get this game, if you have a Nintendo DS or a PS3, feel free to get this game. And then, last but not least, from the Sega crossover games, we have Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed, the sequel to Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing. And I have two different versions. I have the Xbox 360 version, and I have the PS Vita version. But we're going to talk about the console version. So yeah, the console version of Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transform was originally released back in November of 2012 in North America, Europe, and Australia on Xbox 360, PS3, and Wii U. And then it came to Japan on May of 2014. Next, here we have the PS Vita copy, and this game was also released on Nintendo 3DS. So the handheld version of Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transform was originally released in North America and Europe back in December of 2012. Then it came to Australia 2 months later. Now over in Japan, the game was only released on PS3 and the Wii U. Japan did not receive an Xbox copy of this game, and they did not receive a 3DS or Vita copy of this game. But have no worries, the PS Vita is region free. Alright, so now we're going to jump into the Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games series, starting off with the very first one, Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. So, of course, we're going to show off the Wii copy first. So, Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games Wii copy was originally released back in November of 2007 worldwide, actually. And now, as for the DS copy, so the DS copy of the game was originally released in North America and Japan back in January of 2008. And then it came to Europe and Australia a month later. And then it came to South Korea on June of 2008. Next, here we have the sequel, Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games. So the Wii copy was originally released back in October of 2009 in the United States. Then it came to Japan, Europe, Australia, and South Korea a month later. And then here we have the DS copy of Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games. So the DS copy was originally released in North America, Europe, and Australia back in October of 2009. Then it came to Japan a month later. Next, here we have Mario and Sonic at the London 2012 Olympic Games. So the Wii copy was originally released back in November of 2011 in North America, Europe, and Australia. Then it came to Japan a month later. And now, here we have the 3DS copy of Mario and Sonic at the London Games. Originally released back in February of 2012 in North America and Europe. Then it came to Japan and Australia a month later. Next, we're going to jump into Mario and Sonic at the Sochi 2014 Olympic Winter Games. So, this game was exclusively released on the Nintendo Wii U, so unfortunately there is no 3DS copy. But anyways, this game was originally released back in November of 2013 in North America, Europe, and Australia. Then it came to Japan a month later. Next, here we have Mario and Sonic at the Rio 2016 Olympic Games, starting off with the 3DS copy. So the 3DS copy was originally released in Japan back in February of 2016. Then it came to North America a month later, and then it came to Europe and Australia another month later. Next, here we have the Wii U copy of Mario and Sonic at the Rio 2016 Olympic Games. So this game was originally released in Japan, North America, and Europe back in June of 2016. Then it came to Australia and Germany, 2 months later. And then last, but for sure not least, here we have Mario and Sonic at the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games. So, this game was originally released back in November of 2019, pretty much worldwide. Alright, so next we're going to jump into my Sonic X collection. I have 3 so far, so the first one I have is from GBA Video. This is Sonic X, a Super Sonic Hero, featuring the first 2 episodes from Sonic X. Next here we have the Sonic X Leapster game, which of course this is basically a learning game. It basically teaches you about math and stuff, like multiplying and I think adding and subtracting too. Yeah, pretty cool. And last but not least, from the Sonic X collection, we have Sonic X The Complete Series. the Japanese dub. Now, I've seen all the Sonic X episodes in English dub. Yeah, I need to finish this series in Japanese dub. So yeah. And maybe someday I'll get the English dub of this physically. Maybe. Yeah, but for now I just have the Japanese dub version of Sonic X, the complete series. And next we're gonna jump into my Sonic Boom collection. Now I have 2 games physically so far. So we're gonna start off with Sonic Boom Shattered Crystal. So Sonic Boom Shattered Crystal was exclusively released on the Nintendo 3DS, and this game was originally released back in November of 2014, back in North America, Europe, and Australia. Then it came to Japan a month later. And then next, here we have Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric, exclusively released on the Nintendo Wii U. And just like with Shattered Crystal, this was originally released in North America, Europe, and Australia back in November of 2014. Then it came to Japan a month later. And of course, we can never forget the Sonic digital games for Nintendo Switch, Nintendo 3DS, Xbox 360, PlayStation Vita, and of course, the PlayStation 4. Next, I have just 2 game guides. So the first one I've got is Sonic Heroes. This I got at Game Exchange for $10. Not too bad of a deal. And then here we have the Shadow the Hedgehog game guide, which I believe I got this at well, this is a gift from one of my brothers. But yeah, I believe we got this from Game Over Video Games, I believe. Yeah. And now we're going to jump into my Sonic home media products. So, first off, here we have the first Sonic movie from Paramount Pictures. We have the Steelbook edition. So this side has Sonic, and the other side has Dr. Robotnik. And of course you have the adverts. I did a review on this. So yeah, here we have the 4K and then the Blu-ray of the movie. And then we also have Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Can't wait for Sonic the Hedgehog 3. I really hope the trailer comes out soon. I mean, it better come out soon. Anyways, yeah, this is the 4K edition. This is one disc, only 4K. And yeah, pretty cool. I love the front post art. It's pretty cool. And now, my next one. This is pretty much a CD soundtrack. This is made by Victor McKnight. If you don't know who he is, he's a YouTube music artist, and he covers lots of Sonic music. And in this one, this features pretty much all the songs from Sonic Frontiers. So yeah, I got this one over in Sonic Expo, and Victor McKnight did his signature right here. Pretty awesome. Alright, so now we're going to jump into my Sonic plushies. So here we have Sonic. This is, of course, classic Sonic. I should also get a modern Sonic plush someday, maybe. But yeah, right now I just have classic Sonic. And I also have this Sonic right here with the cool looking designs and stuff. It's pretty neat. Of course, I love the little shoes. Next, here we have Baby Sonic from the Sonic Paramount movies. Pretty cool. All the little feet too. Next, here we have Tails. This is classic Tails right here. And then we have Knuckles. This is classic Knuckles right here. And then we have 2 different Amy's. We have modern Amy and classic Amy. Next, here we have Cream the Rabbit. And of course, we can never forget her little chow friend, Cheese. Cream and Cheese. And then here we have a normal chow right here. Next, here we have the ultimate life form himself, Shadow the Hedgehog. So I have 2 different shadows, one big and one small. Pretty cool. Next, here we have Rouge the Bat. Here we have Silver the Hedgehog. Blaze the cat, and I know this one's like a little weird, but I don't know, I got this at a mall, so yeah. Next, here we have the leader of the Babylon Rogues, and that character happens to be Jet the Hawk, right here. Next, here we have, let's bring up Team Chaotix. So first up, here we have Espio the Chameleon, Charmy Bee, and Vector the Crocodile, the leader of Team Chaotix. He's awfully big, for sure. Then next, here we have Chaos. This is Chaos Zero, right here. And now, bringing up the Eggman Empire, here we have Dr. Eggman. And last but not least, here we have Metal Sonic. Alright, now moving on to the grand finale, which happens to be, well, basically I'm going to show you, like, some Sonic things on the shelf, like figures, pins, and other things. But before I do that, yeah, I've also been collecting other stuff, as you can see here, like, been collecting Powerpuff Girls, Cars, Thomas Japanese DVDs, and Play Rail, My Little Pony, Thomas Magic Railroad, South Park. On the top, I'm still like working on that. Yeah, it's still a work in progress. But anyways, let's jump back to Sonic, shall we? So the first thing that you see here is the Sonic the Hedgehog popsicle wrapper. Comes with the gumball eyes, and the flavor is blue raspberry and cherry. It's really good. I recommend this popsicle if you're a big Sonic fan, or if you just love character popsicle heads in general. And then over here we have 2 random Sonic the Hedgehog comic books. And then over here we have the Sonic Bahama Bucks spoons and the collector's cup as well. That is holding the spoons. And then over here we have 3 different versions of Amy from Sonic Prime. We have Black Rose, Rusty Rose, and Thorn Rose. And then over here we have pet dispensers of Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles in classic style form. And then over here we have Shadow and Omega. I need to get Rouge to complete Team Dark. And then over here we've got Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Shadow from the Lego Brickheads collection. And then over here we have more Legos. So over here we have the Shadow Lego set that came with this motorcycle and came with that cage thing or whatever, or that capsule thing. Kind of like in the Sonic Adventure 2 game, you know? Anyways, we have like 3 customized figures. We have Amy, Eggman, and Silver. Those I got like from conventions and stuff. And then over here we've got Lego Dimensions Sonic. So you have like Sonic, then his car, and then the tornado, and then here we have the Sonic Amiibo. And then of course we have the Egg Robo that came with the Lego Shadow set. And then we have the Yellow Chaos Emerald that came with Omega. And then we have classic Sonic figure and a mini modern Sonic figure over there. And then we have of course the Chow pin that came with a knife. Classic. And then over here, this is where I store pretty much most of my Sonic games, right here. And then over here we've got what you might call, well, this is where I store some of my like special edition or limited editions or something like that. Anyways, so we have like basically, well, the 30th anniversary of Sonic Colors Ultimate and the 10th anniversary of Sonic Adventure 2, and we have Sonic 3D Blast for Sega Saturn. And then we have Shadow the Hedgehog, signed by Jason Griffith. Yeah, I got him, like I said, I got Jason Griffith to sign my game over at Sonic Expo. And then we have like Good to Grow Sonic caps. We have like Sonic, and then we have Shadow, and then we have, of course, the Sonic Energy Drink right there. And then this right here is a stretchy, or I guess, it's basically a Knuckles stress toy, or whatever you call it. I mean, I call them a stress toy. Or I call these stress toy, because, well, you know. Anyways, here we have this knockoff Sonic keychain that I got at a Japanese market. But I've modified it a little bit to make it a little better. Yeah. Did the best I could. And on that keychain, you can see the Sonic Heroes logo and the Sonic X logo for some reason. Then you have like pullback racers of Sonic and Knuckles from Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing. I absolutely love that game, you guys. Like, if you haven't played it, please do so. If you have like a Wii, PS3, or even an Xbox 360, or even a Nintendo DS. And here's that little spring thing. And it came with the Shadow figure. Then we have the LEGO Dimensions booklet, and then we have like some minifigs of Sonic, Super Sonic, Knuckles, and Rouge, and we have the Sonic Expo 2023 pin, and then we of course have the Sonic Expo weekend badge right here. Yep, I attended at the Sonic Expo, went both days, and surprisingly Sonic Expo is doing 3 days, so who knows, maybe I'll do 3 days. I really want to do 3 days, if I'll be honest. Yeah, so maybe I'll do that. Anyways, here we have like the Sonic collectible pins from Series 2. I like the Series 2 better than the Series 1 because the Series 1, they're just like gold, while these ones right here have color, which I really love it when there's color. Yeah. When it comes to, of course, pins and pictures and, you know, so on and so forth. Anyways, here we have Sonic, Knuckles, Tails, Dr. Eggman, Shadow, Amy, and Chow. And then over here, we have like my Sonic home media products, as well as some of the Sonic Genesis games, and of course we have like the Sonic Japanese Sega Mega Drive game, and then some Japanese GameCube, then Sonic. This is basically like a painting. I guess I could show that, but yeah, you can like hang it on your wall or whatever. But I decided to put it in here. And then, of course, my 3DS and DS Sonic games. And then we have the Sonic IHOP menu, which I did go to IHOP, well, 4 times for this. I tried out Sonic's dish, then Amy's, then Shadow's, and then Dr. Eggman's. I didn't do Tails or Knuckles because, well, I don't think they're as impressive as the other ones, if you know what I mean. But, yeah. Anyways, up top we could see the Sonic Bahama Bucks, little sticks that it comes with every Sonic and Shadow snow cone. See, I've got like 2 different versions of Sonic, and then Knuckles with the surfboard, and then Shadow with his Shadow snow cone. And then of course we have like Sonic X on cartridge, like the GBA video and the Leapster game. And then of course we have like G to the Next Level, which I recommend you check out his channel. He does like a lot of Sonic content, so he's a pretty cool guy. Yeah, definitely recommend him. And yeah, he was at, well, I met him at Classic Game Fest, and I think Retropalooza as well. But, and I know he was at Sonic Expo. I mean, meaning to like say hi to him, but he was like so busy, so yeah. Anyways, so here we have like Gujitsu, which they're stretchy figures. They come in like different shapes and sizes, I guess. So I got like Shadow right here for the mini ones, and then for the big ones, like I've got Sonic. So for the big ones you can get Sonic, Super Sonic, and Knuckles. And then for the mini ones you can get Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Shadow, and Dr. Eggman. And yeah. And these are actually manufactured by a company called Character, which it's a UK toy company, which also made some of those Peppa Pig toys. So yeah, I've known them for years now. And for the Gujitsu, besides the Sonic ones, they've also made like some Marvel, DC, and I know they made like the Buzz Lightyear one. So yeah, pretty cool. And we have now reached the end of my Sonic the Hedgehog collection video. Hope you guys enjoy it, and I will see you all next time. Peace out.